In our last episode, we explored the idea that many vacation rental hosts overlook. Guests rarely remember every message you send. They remember how those messages made them feel. Every conversation, from the first inquiry to the thank you message after checkout, shapes the guest experience. Today, I'm going to take that one step further by looking at how great communication builds trust before guests even arrive. If you're listening while preparing for arrivals, cleaning your property, or simply taking a break, I hope you'll find ideas that make hosting a little easier, because calmer hosts usually create calmer guests. Welcome back to Vacation Rental Resolutions, where independent vacation rental owners stop surviving the business and start building rentals that guests love, systems that work, and a profitable rental business. Hi, I'm Jerry McPherson, and I've spent more than 30 years in hospitality, worked with vacation rental owners around the world, and each week we talk about the real side of running a vacation rental. We don't teach people how to run accommodation, we teach them how to build a hospitality business that supports the life they want to live. If you haven't done so yet, sign up, and if it is applicable, ring that bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Long before the guests experience your property, they experience you. And that becomes even more important as guests compare dozens of listings online before making a decision. Once they choose your property, every message either strengthens their confidence or quietly weakens it. Guests rarely tell us that they're feeling uncertain. Instead, uncertainty appears as repeated questions, requests for confirmation, or anxious messages on arrival day. They aren't difficult guests, they're uncertain guests, and uncertainty is usually a communication problem, not a personality problem. Once you start viewing guests' communication through that lens, you can stop thinking about messages and you can start thinking about confidence. And that's a completely different mindset. A few years ago, I stayed at a vacation rental that was comfortable but fairly ordinary. The furniture wasn't luxurious, the kitchen definitely wasn't modern. Nothing about the property stood out, but I can still remember that stay. Not because of the property, because of the host. 2 days before arrival, I received a short message. Hi Jerry, we know you'll be traveling for a while, so here's everything you need to know when you arrive. And below it was one organized list. It included the address, the parking instructions, the door code, the Wi-Fi details, the nearest supermarket, their cell phone number, their mobile number, and then one sentence that stayed with me. If anything doesn't feel quite right when you arrive, please let us know straight away. We'd much rather fix it now than hear about it after you've gone home. That one sentence changed everything. It told me that they genuinely cared. It made reporting a problem feel easier instead of awkward. I never needed to use that invitation, but I still remember it. That's what good communication does. It removes worries before they ever become complaints. Every hospitality business experiences problems. The Wi-Fi stops working. The cleaner gets delayed. Something breaks unexpectedly. The question is whether things go wrong. The question is how you respond. During one stay, the heating failed on a particularly cold evening. Within 10 minutes, the owner replied, not with excuses, not with blame, simply, I'm really sorry. I've called our engineer, and while they're on their way, I'm bringing you 2 portable heaters. I'll update you again in 15 minutes. And then that's exactly what happened. The heaters arrived quickly. The engineer fixed the problem. The owner checked in again the following morning. The property received an excellent review, not because nothing went wrong, because communication was excellent when it mattered the most. Problems rarely destroy guest experiences. Silence does. One mistake I see regularly is trying to make every message do everything. Booking confirmations become welcome guides. Arrival instructions include restaurant recommendations. Checkout reminders become marketing emails. Guests quickly become overwhelmed. Instead, give every message one clear purpose. The booking confirmation confirms the booking. The arrival message helps guests arrive. The first evening message checks everything is going well. The checkout message explains departure. One message, one purpose. Guests know exactly where to find the information they need. And hosts spend far less time answering the same questions repeatedly. Okay, by now we've established something important. Guests aren't looking for dozens of messages. They are looking for confidence. The happiest hosts I have met all have one thing in common. They don't rely on memory. They rely on good habits, and those habits become systems. Those systems create consistency, and consistency builds trust. Now, this is one of the biggest time-saving lessons I've learned. If you've written the same message 10 times, stop writing it. Create a template. Templates don't make your communication robotic. They create consistency. Instead of rewriting arrival instructions every week, you simply personalize an existing template. That gives you more time to focus on the moments that actually matter. Automation doesn't replace hospitality. It creates more time for it. Now, if today's episode has encouraged you to review guest communication, I'd like to make the process a little easier. If you haven't listened to it yet, well, guess what? We still have that guest communication templates available, and they're free. And they're for every stage of the guest journey, including booking confirmations, pre-arrival messages, check-in instructions, first night follow-ups, problem resolution, checkout reminders, post-day thank you messages. Now, don't feel you need to copy the templates word for word. Actually, I highly recommend you don't. Adjust the wording so they sound like you. Add local recommendations. Mention your favorite cafe. Share walking trails your guests always enjoy. The templates provide structure. Your personality creates the hospitality. So you can find the link in the show notes below. When we think about great hospitality, it's easy to picture the big things. The beautiful interiors, the luxury welcome baskets, stylish furniture, fresh flowers, and those details certainly contribute to the guest experience. But they are rarely what the guests remember most. The strongest guest experiences are usually built through much smaller moments. So here are your key takeaways from today's episode. Hospitality begins long before guests arrive. Every message should build confidence. Keep every message focused. Build systems instead of relying on memory. Great communication builds trust. Which guest message has the biggest impact on the overall guest experience? Your first reply, the booking confirmation, the arrival instructions, the way you handle a problem, or your thank you message after checkout? I'm curious to hear your opinion. Leave your answer in the comments. I do read every one. And many future episodes are inspired by questions from listeners just like you. So what do guests remember most about how we communicate? After everything we've discussed, I think the answer is surprisingly simple. Guests remember whether your communication made them feel cared for, not processed, not managed, not treated like another booking reference, but cared for. You don't need perfect wording. You don't need lengthy emails. You simply need communication that is clear, timely, and genuinely helpful. And when you achieve this, something remarkable happens. Hospitality becomes less reactive, guests become more confident, problems become easier to solve, reviews become stronger, and perhaps more importantly, you begin enjoying your vacation rental business a little more. If this episode helped you take one step closer to a calmer, smarter vacation rental business, subscribe and share it with another owner. And if you'd like to support what we do, feel free to buy us a coffee. It helps keep the lights on and the ideas flowing. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need the right next step. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next time on Vacation Rental Resolutions.